2345 54321.
Okay. Uh-oh, am I in the wrong link?
Good morning. Welcome to the Division of Family and Children Services Advisory Board meeting. Today is September 22nd, 2025, and we're so excited to be here in person with everyone. And for those of you online, thanks for joining us as well. I would like to start us this morning with just some prayer. And if you would like to participate, please do. If not, maybe just take a moment of silence. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much that you're here with us. We just pause and acknowledge your presence and acknowledge that you are sovereign, that you're for us, that your plan is good for us. And God, we are just so thankful to be here today meeting to discuss things happening around our state for children and families. Father, we just ask for your wisdom today. We ask for unity. We ask, God, that you would just strengthen the work of our hands, give us peace, and God, that you would just fill our department staff with steadfastness, patience, with love as they serve families across the state of Georgia. God, you know that these are hard jobs and positions that they fill, and that reaching families and helping them thrive is no easy task. And so we ask for your help in that work. And we pray, God, where there needs to be refreshing and renewal, that you would meet them there. And we just thank you again for this time. And would you just be among us right now, Jesus? In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, I will now call the attendance for the meeting by region. Starting with Region 1, Pam Clayton. Present. Region 2, Fran Chastain.
Fran is online with us.
Okay, Fran is
I'm
online.
present. I'm present.
Region 3,
Present.
Randall Hambrick. Region 4, Belinda Davis.
Present.
Region 5, Anna Bearden.
Present.
Region 9, Travis Niblett. Region 10, Tommy Hill. Region 11, Lacey Tippins. Region 12, Allie Christensen. Region 14, Judge Morris.
Present.
She is present with us online.
Okay, she's present online. At-large member Janice Vaness. At-large member Jennifer Shimpo, I'm present. At-large member Jeff Maurer. He is online with us as well. At-large member Judge Costley.
Yes, from Alabama and at large.
Go Dogs. At-large member Leslie Reese.
Jennifer, during the Civil War, my family moved from Newton County out west and they ended up in Alabama. That was the west in the 1860s.
That was the West.
About as far as you can get.
Oh, they never came back.
Well, we'll convert you at some point to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, they know the difference then.
At this time, we do have a quorum. And now we're going to move to the agenda approval of today's meeting. Please state your name when making or seconding a motion so it can be included in the minutes today. Today's meeting and agenda has been distributed to you through email. Does anyone have any corrections? Is there a motion?
So
Randall
moved.
Hambrick, yeah.
Virtual costly.
I'll second it. Randall Hambrick.
Okay. It is moved and properly seconded that the meeting agenda for today be approved. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. If you're online, please raise your hand. Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay, this motion is moved. The minutes are approved from June the 3rd, 2025. Sorry, I get confused on this. The June 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes have been distributed to you. Are there any corrections from that, from the past? Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved, Pam Clayton.
Second, Belinda Davis.
Thank you. I move that the Division of Family and Children Services Advisory Board minutes for the June 3rd, 2025 meeting be approved. And it's properly seconded. And is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. All right, we're going to move to agency reports. These reports focus on projects and initiatives of each of these offices to help us better know what committees can discuss. And today we have with us Ms. Laura Beggs from the Office
I'm
of
so glad
Family.
y'all are here.
Sure, see you.
She's going to come join us.
Sean, y'all met on Zoom.
Sean, how are you? Good to meet you.
Good morning.
You-
Also met on
Yes,
Zoom. Just-
very nice to finally meet you.
You know, for John Holman, who is out on paternity leave.
I'm gonna miss the first couple hours. I've got a DFCS board
Here
meeting.
in his stead to talk today about community
So,
partners.
is there, there's.
And it's gonna be a short and
Yeah.
sweet presentation, but hopefully you'll learn a lot because it is one of our
Okay.
good programs. Well, we got lots of good programs, but it's one of our superb
I mean,
programs.
it's anywhere is good, just,
Excuse me.
So our Community Partners Program started in about 2018. And since it started, we have entrusted 115 organizations across 28 counties that work in collaboration with us to help individuals and families gain access to public assistance programs. They do so by helping people apply for public assistance, helping them renew their cases, and helping them upload documents that are needed to determine eligibility. They also can provide case updates if somebody's confused about their case and has questions, and they can also print notices. And then they also refer people to community resources. Next screen. So I sort of categorized our community partners by services, and you can see the most that we have category, the highest category is the education and workforce development and community services. And then you can see it goes down from there, but that's where most of our resources are. And what they do, what our community partners do, just to give you a broad example, is they do their own thing in the community under each of those classifications, but by becoming a community partner, they can serve their constituents more holistically by helping them with our services. Next screen. And then here I've mapped out for you where most of our community partners are. As you can see, they're mostly urban and suburban, but we do have a couple out in the rural areas. Obviously, in the white areas, we would like to extend our growth, and we have been. We've been extending. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we are extending very quickly. It's one person running our community partners program right now, so she stays busy with onboarding. Next slide. Since January, our community partners have enrolled over 14,000 new applications, and they've helped with over 4,000 renewals and almost 300 outreach events. That's as of the end of August. Our community partners turn in these reports to us that tell, these metrics. So you can see that they are a wonderful extension of DFCS for how our programs enrolling constituents in our programs. And then, of course, we onboard 3 to 4 new partners each quarter. So that's a big deal in that there's a lot involved with it. I'll go into more detail of that in a minute too, but it's a big deal to become a community partner. It's DFCS type employment. Next slide. Then, in addition, our community partner coordinator, she also holds monthly partner meetings. And what that does is it allows our community partners to have a sense of networking, because they all come together on the monthly call, and they hear directly from our policy subject matter experts on new changes, like policy changes or procedural changes. So hearing it directly from the policy person's very important. And then it allows a Q&A session so that people can ask questions, so that our community partners are very clear on what the program policies are, and they're able to convey that to our customers. Next slide. And I'm not going to read this to you, but these are the requirements for our community partner criteria. In addition to meeting these requirements here, they also have to take all the annual trainings that DFCS staff have to take. And that includes, sexual harassment and HIPAA training. And so you can see it's very detailed what we can't just allow anybody in the program, obviously, because there's, PII to worry about. And but it's a great program, and it allows the community partners to serve their customers, but also to help them with our programs as well. And the example I like to give is, like, say, a homeless shelter that's geared toward teenagers. They want to serve their teenagers, but they also can help them enroll in assistance programs when they don't have family around to help them. And one thing I wanted to say, I didn't put it on a slide, I didn't think about it, but we don't have our community partners, we don't have a master list posted anywhere publicly, because they want to sort of keep that privacy, because they are focused on serving their constituents on a regular basis. They don't want just random people who may not be, the homeless shelter for teenagers doesn't want, non-constituents coming in the door and taking away their resources. So So we're not able to post the list publicly, but we do have a pretty healthy list of people that are our community partners. And I think that's it.
And how do people apply? Do you know?
Oh, yep. I should have put that on there. There's an email that we refer people to where they can apply to become a community partner. And I can get that for you.
Okay, that would be great.
And then once interest is shown, the community partner coordinator, Miss Marion Dudley, she will send a little note that has all the things like, here's what you have to have. And, let me know if you want to continue and I'll set you up.
The map's just too spotty. We need more folks.
We need more folks. We sure do.
And it looks like to me that if you want to be a member, that I know this is just standard stuff anyhow. It's not any problem to become a member.
No, not really. I mean, most people who serve customers meet all this
Are in that
criteria.
category anyhow.
Right, yeah. So we're happy to onboard more. So, as you're speaking to your constituents out in the field, certainly spread the word. And like I said, I'll get you the email.
But you only have so many advertising dollars.
Exactly.
So Laura, do you have a list of services that the community partner can assist with? For example, so I'm just sitting here thinking, if there were, for example, not-for-profit skilled nursing facility that wanted to serve in that capacity, what are those services that they can assist with, and to what degree could they take it in, for example, in the application and eligibility determination process? I can see that if you could create a model, and we do have some limited situations where there are shared folks in some of the centers, but I don't think it's expressly this because of that not-for-profit criteria.
Yeah.
But I would think that potentially a not-for-profit entity could service multiple facilities in a regional location,
Correct.
and they would be just servicing those individuals, and that could potentially really help around this application and eligibility piece
Absolutely.
sometimes where they're delayed.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. We have umbrella organizations who, they're the organization, but the people below them in the umbrella are also community partners. But then we also have single entity community partners as well. They certainly can help. I mean, they become gateway experts in their processes of learning, and they're able to more easily enroll, like what you're talking about, the aged community. They're able to really help the aged community who, aren't so familiar with the technology. They can help enroll them. They can help with renewals. They can help with everything. It's great.
and certainly they're in that system today, but I think it's purely from their lane, right? And so if we were expanding how they were able to serve, so yeah, I'll maybe some potential there.
But it occurs to me that there actually may be people doing some of that work, but don't join with you as a formal partner. And I think that's kind of sad. And I know you don't object to them helping you. And they may be doing all of the right things, but they just don't step up and say, hey, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's possible. We would like for them to be with us, so that way we can make sure that, they understand HIPAA requirements and, all the things that go with keeping information safe, keeping data safe. But yeah, you're right. There may be entities out there that are just doing
Well,
it.
sometimes an organization, a nonprofit organization may not be but one or two people.
Right.
So, they may be over there helping, but they didn't hold their hand up and say, I'm a nonprofit. So.
What kind of resources do the community partners have? Like, are they able to get into all of the same information that DFCS would be able to get? And also, do they have the ability to approve or not approve people?
They can't approve. That's a caseworker function.
Okay.
But they can help people input the questions on the application, and they can help people upload documents whenever, like verification of income.
So they're not making decisions of
They're
any
not making
sort.
decisions. They're
Okay.
just data entry.
Okay.
So that may be something that the OFI committee could talk more about. Yeah, I don't know if you have a couple of minutes after this.
Yeah.
If you don't, then that's fine. But they
Absolutely.
are gonna meet together and kind of come up with some objectives for their committee,
Great.
which focuses on OFI. So maybe that could be part of the discussion.
Great. Any other questions? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Next up, we have Mr. Lon Roberts from Child Welfare.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for
Hey.
joining
Hey,
us.
thanks for having me. I think we're going on almost a year together. It's hard to believe.
Yay.
Been a big blur, I tell you. Like Laura, I have a relatively brief presentation, but hopefully a positive presentation for us. So we'll talk briefly around the celebration of excellence we had, our Permanency Summit, Kinship Awareness Month, and our technology projects. So we'll start with Celebration of Excellence. We have some great photos there from the event. It was held in July at the Renaissance Concourse Hotel in Atlanta. And it's our annual celebration and graduation ceremony of our high school, tech grad, and college graduates of our youth in foster care. Always a beautiful event.
It was great.
I'd like to give a special acknowledgement of our guests and board members who are able to attend. We had State Legislator Senator Kay Kirkpatrick and Representative Katie Dempsey. Then DHS and DFCS board members, we have Scott Johnson, Monica Walters, Anna Bearden, and Pam Clayton. So it's a great turnout. State leadership was there as well. Had a message from the governor. So it's always a special event. Always one of our favorites. We also had juvenile court judges, Judge Granis and Judge Earwood, to join. I want to give Don J. Calhoun a shout out at the board meeting today. He's our well-being director. He's over this program. His team sets it up and they always do a great job. And so I just want to recognize Don J. for that. We had 184 graduates and 87 attended the Celebration of Excellence. In addition to the ceremony that we all enjoy, there's also career and educational workshops that the youth participate in, vendor and career fairs, the Dress for Success program to help our youth who are graduating with going into careers. And each graduate received a laptop and a $200 gift card. So it was like Christmas in July, really, for them. So it was great. So glad to report on that and look forward to next year's Celebration of Excellence. Next, I'm excited to talk about our Permanency Summit we had in August at Lake Lanier. Our county directors and our SAGs, our special assistant attorney generals, our attorneys. The summit, again, it was referred to as a Permanency Summit, County Director Summit, SAG Summit. We use different terminology for it. Really, that's the target audience is our county directors and our SAGs. Focus on permanency. It's good to have face-to-face time. They don't see each other like they used to as much. So the workshops were important and helpful, but also it was the meeting after the meeting where they're doing peer support, networking, and just building that bond and sharing. So that's really the beautiful part about it, the sharing. We had workshops on safety and well-being, permanency, leadership development, and technology, which we'll touch on here in a minute as well. So it was great to be a part of that event. Next, we'll talk about Kinship Awareness Month. As you know, September is Kinship Awareness Month, where we celebrate our kinship caregivers across the continuum, from the informal kinship arrangements that often doesn't involve us at all the way through the legal custody, guardianship, relative foster care, and kinship adoption. So to celebrate in September, we are and have hosted 3 kinship caregiver celebrations throughout the state for current and adoptive kinship caregivers. They were held in the Augusta area, Lanier and Berrien area, and the metro area. So excited about that. We're also promoting the CHOA, Children's Healthcare Atlanta, 4 webinars for kinship caregivers with information on positive parenting, healthy relationships, body safety, and the legal system. And finally, we'll touch on our technology modernization projects, though I'll preface it to say, as these get closer, we'll have more information and more detail. But as reminders, you know, we have the Shines modularization, which you may hear referred to as Shines 2.0, which is our SACWIS system, our CWIS system, our case management tool. Really, the improvements are made to the interface, modernize it, and it's also easier to update later. So as we have future needs to change, they can update it easier versus having the current system. So that should be early 2026. We should see the early stage of Shines 2.0 or Shines modernization begin to roll out. We have Caregiver Connection, which you know is our digitized foster parent onboarding system. It will be rolling out early 2026, summer 2026. We have the Georgia Communicare updates in early 2026. You know, as you know, it's our communication access portal for foster parents, CASA, and birth parents to get information. Early 2026, we'll see a user interface. The login will be better, enhanced notifications, better visual cues for staff to know about prompt to do approvals and other kind of enhancements like that. So it'll be a better interface and a better tool with a better way to communicate with the users. Into the summer 2026, we'll hope to have our foster parent invoice and added to Communicare, which should really streamline that part, which is I think our foster parents will appreciate, as will our fiscal folks. So that should be in summer of 2026. And again, as I said, more about that as they get closer. But a lot of plates, a lot of juggling in the air, a lot of balls in the air. But the team's really dedicated, and I believe you'll see these time frames in 2026 in the summer be met. So that's all I've got. If you have any requests or questions for me, let me know, or certainly anytime you need additional information or want us to drill down on a certain area, let me know, or Emma know, or whoever, and we can certainly target a specific presentation for you as well.
Great, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Deputy Commissioner.
You'll be here after, you're gonna be around for a while after we.
I'm going to step out briefly. Do you need me after this?
No, I just want to ask you about some policy.
Yes, sir.
things
Yeah, we can talk.
that the board doesn't probably have any interest in, so.
Glad to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate both of their time and effort to give us a great presentation. Next up, we're going to move into some board business. We need to discuss the executive committee, which consists of the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. Currently serving in those roles is myself, Jennifer Shimpo, as the chairman. Allie Christensen, who is away on family business, is the vice chairman, and then Anna Bearden, who's here with us in person, is serving as secretary. So per our bylaws, executive members can serve up to 3 consecutive years, but each position will still need to be voted on for the following year. And so we did that with the bylaws a couple of years ago, just to help with consistency and the smoothness of the board and passing it on each year. And so all 3 of us are willing to continue to serve, but we are also open to taking nominations for other candidates. If anyone would like to be considered or nominate someone else, they can do so now, or you can email Emma up until September 30th, 2025. So if anyone would like to submit a nomination right now, you may do so. I'll give like 30 seconds for that.
What if we'd like things to say the same?
If you'd like things to say the same, then you just stay quiet.
I'll be quiet.
Okay, again, we'll continue to take nominations up until September 30th of this year. And email those to Emma, please. The next thing that I have on our board business is I would like for us to discuss as a board the timings of our meetings, day and time. I know for some of us here in the room, we were discussing traffic on in the morning time and how horrific that is trying to make it from our towns. And so we want to lighten the burden of that.
Can we meet over in Hampton or someplace where there's nobody?
It's true.
I don't even know where that is.
Close to me.
I don't know what it's like anymore. We've got 115,000 in the county. They had 24 when I was a kid.
Yes. So we did
Sorry.
discuss among the executive leadership moving our meetings to different places around the state. For two of those meetings each year. However, our leadership would like to see that we are coming and meeting in person before we commit to the resources being used for off-site location. It takes a lot of work to move our technology people and set that up. And so we're really hoping that we can encourage twice a year, that everyone strongly encourage twice a year that everyone would come be in person with us. And we're hoping that would be the first and third meetings. And then we can look possibly at meeting maybe in Macon or somewhere in North Georgia. We can utilize different partners that we have to meet in their buildings and spaces, but that would require us all staying probably in hotels, the ones of us who don't live nearby. So again, we want to be conscious of our resources and make sure that we're all committed to coming in person before we do that. So I'd like to have a discussion about timing and days. If there's a day and time that's better for everyone.
I don't have a day and time, but I applaud the effort to make these meetings more accessible to more people. Government has been buried in secrecy as long as I can remember, not because the government necessarily wants to be. It's just that we don't have a bullhorn or a corner to stand on. So anything you do to increase visibility will help. So whatever you do with that, I'm on board.
I'm not wed to day or time of month, but I wonder about the time of day. I mean, like, clearly I did find getting here at 10 o'clock this morning. I don't know if a 10:30 meeting time might allow for a little more buffer. That might be a point of discussion.
How'd Anna do coming over from Athens?
This morning was one of the best mornings.
It wasn't
I
too
was like,
bad
wasn't
for
too
me
this
coming up
morning.
either. I figured she has to come almost by me to get here.
It's relative, but today was fine.
Well, it's hard because today is fall break for a good chunk of the state.
Oh,
So like,
maybe.
it
Okay.
typically takes me about an hour 20 from Dallas, and it took like less than an hour.
So you got the same issues as
So-
you had here, yeah.
So yeah, it's traffic, but today was great because of fall break, I think.
Well, the thing that slows a lot of us up is, and it isn't gonna stop, it's just traffic, construction. And it wasn't bad today. I didn't get held up by construction even a little bit. And everything between here and Athens is being redone, so but it's being redone everywhere. I don't know if there is a day that you can choose. I've always tried to leave my house though after the school buses drive by. Because it really does make a big difference when you've got that kind of, that's probably the biggest issue for some of us.
Well, and if it takes, like, if you think about it, if it takes, say, 2 hours in the morning, but an hour or two later, it'd be an hour, then maybe we do, like, you're pretty much taking a day if you're coming out of town. So like, I wonder, like Pam, what you said, like, could we do like an 11 to 1 and we kind of miss the traffic leaving and we miss the traffic coming? And I know it's like in the middle of the day and it kind of screws you up if you've got to go do something afterwards, but it would make traffic easier. I do like the idea of, say we have 4 meetings a year, like being very intentional about attending in person, maybe 2 of those. Then maybe we could all make arrangements that we would make every effort to attend the first and third, and we would do online for the others, which is honestly minimal effort, 2 days a year. I would think. But when we try to do in person every time, then people feel maybe less likely to come to every single one. And then sometimes we have people, sometimes we don't, but we don't ever have everybody at once.
For me, the Monday is a good day. It's usually a less hectic day for me. But I'm not opposed to any other day. I'm retired, so I'm in a good place. And the 10 o'clock is good for me to get behind traffic, but I'm not opposed to 11 if that works for everybody else.
Well, I don't know how you would arrange that, but that certainly would alleviate some problems. It would help me, but it really wouldn't make that much difference. I can get here even if I have to get up at 4:30, but I will probably end up somewhere over in Dallas instead of here though, if I get up that early.
And the only thing about going south, like if we're getting out at 1, then you're gonna run into the south
What
traffic.
time,
'Cause
what
folks
time
in
do you not
Atlanta,
run into it?
Like there's not a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm curious.
And
what
sometimes the
goes on.
express lanes are a joke, whether they're open or not.
I'd be curious to hear from maybe Ally, who's, I think she typically comes the night before and spends the night before, so getting back. If we're pushing it later in the day, getting back feels like.
Yeah, and that does.
Maybe she wouldn't have to
that
spend the
does
night the
help.
night before if she
Yes,
got
that's
here
true.
at 11.
Maybe it just switches
yeah.
the night. I think Ally's probably coming from the furthest, just, I'm not sure.
Lacey too. She comes from South Georgia.
Lacey. I'd be curious of like what that timeline looks like. for
Well,
them
does
coming.
meeting in Macon or someplace, does that present problem? It's as easy for me to get to Macon as it is to get to.
It's harder for the
It's the
staff.
The
I think.
technology.
But it's harder for staff, and
Yeah.
it's hard for a lot of board members. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the northwest corner of the world, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
What about the people online too? Does
Yeah.
anybody have anything to say?
This is Jeff. I don't know if the
Jeff just
day
went
of,
off silent. Can we hear him?
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
Well, we could split the difference and make it 10:30 instead of the 10 or 11. I don't know what there is a good time for everybody. If you want to do a simple survey, let us know by Monday of next week what kind of time you prefer. I think that would help, but eventually you're gonna have to make a decision that does not fit with a lot of people's schedules. And I mean, that's just life.
Right.
People commenting or anything? No chats? Could we get the meetings like, someone?
There was one comment in the chat.
If we're able to have the year in advance, it'd be very helpful.
Yes, we can work on that.
The
We're
comment in
pretty-
the chat was from Judge Morris saying that she's present,
Okay, thank you.
That she's what?
that she's
Yes.
present from attendance.
Can you schedule them very well for
saying
next year
Oh,
though?
present. I thought she said pregnant. I was like, wait, what?
Hey Jennifer, can you hear me?
Yes, the executive committee is planning on meeting soon to discuss dates for next year and we will get those out.
Awesome.
This year we had great intentions of doing that, but we were also trying to work it where we could possibly move the meeting away from Atlanta to help facilitate and ease the burden of our folks that drive from so far away. But we, again, need to return to, if we could get participation for 2 times a year, then full participation or even 90% participation, then we would be more inclined to use our resources for that. Yeah. Okay, anyone online want to write a comment in the chat if we can't hear you about timing? You can also email me or email Emma. All right. Oh, we are not able to hear you, Jeff.
He came off mute, but we can't hear him.
Do you want to comment in the chat, Jeff, what you were trying to say?
Or try again. You're on mute still.
It's got a comment over on the right-hand
I
side.
will.
Can you hear me?
Now we can, yes.
Yay.
Okay, my gosh. I'm sorry, Nicole. I'm trying to do this from my phone because my computer speaker still doesn't work. No, I was gonna suggest somebody that said if we could plan these meetings out a year, I thought that was good. I don't know that it really matters to most about what day it is, but the timing, I think when we're downtown, if we could push it later, 11 or noon, I think helps folks, get there. That would be my only recommendation. And I love the idea of doing this in different places around the state to make it more convenient for folks. Of course, if you ever want to do it in North Georgia, we're always welcome to do it at Restoration Rome. So, but, having it closer down to where Allie is and others, I think would be, I'd be open to that. So anyway, just my thoughts.
Great, thank you so much.
Northwest, could we do it in Rising Phone or someplace?
Yeah. we're in Bolton, so,
I mean,
I
obviously,
don't
if you
mind
move it
traveling.
anywhere and we're all
Yeah.
spread over the state, it's gonna be further
Yeah.
for people than.
Somebody.
It's
no matter
always
where we
gonna
move it.
It's gonna
impact
be
somebody.
inconvenient
Yeah.
for somebody.
Okay, we'll get to working on that as the executive committee. Okay, we're gonna move into our committee report time. And I know that some committees have had some difficulty meeting from this quarter. But those who have a report, I would like for you to share kind of what's going on in your committee. So I'll start with, since Randall's here in person, the Community Relations and Hiring Committee.
So we have met several times. We met in August, on August 14th, and also on September 4th. And we're excited about meeting today. We're basically, our goal is to create a one-pager that we can all use in our communities, and that we would partner with different partners in getting them information. So the objective, create a concise, informative one-pager, raises awareness about the role and services of DFCS with a focus on how community partners can engage and support. We can be placing this at local community centers, local food banks, senior centers, libraries, basically where people gather in the community. And then also as board members, if we are going to a Rotary Club meeting, or we're a local, we're going to a local school, and we can actually give them information about what DFCS does. What I found interesting as we're doing this, and we're working with Emily and Emma, is we're realizing DFCS does more than we know, even from the board. And so just different support services that DFCS offers that maybe people are unaware of, including people even on our board. So the one pager would maybe include things like the overview of what DFCS does, key programs and services, how to get involved in partners, some strategic vision. So we have been talking to school counselors, local social workers, trying to find out what are you hearing from kids that come in to see you? What are parents misunderstanding about what DFCS does, and why they will or won't work with DFCS. And so we're trying to kind of tailor it to what are the needs in communities, what do they need to know or would be helpful for them to know about who DFCS is and what they offer and provide. And so we're really at this point, and then we're going to also move into a PowerPoint where any of us could use. I think once we nail this down and get it really specifically finalized, we'll move into creating a PowerPoint with the same basic information that we could use with any partners in the community. Our hope would be also there would be some things online that we could very easily go to and refer to, and maybe even have ways to have regional resources. I don't think we could do county resources, be too specific and exhausting to come up with every resource in every county, but maybe regions, we could have, an additional page for each region or a website link. We're still working on that, but I think our goal is to create the one pager and also a PowerPoint to use in our communities.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Randall?
I know you mentioned website link. I'm beginning to think that a lot of websites that have links also have a big note written to them somewhere. They're hard, some of them just hard to get into. And if you talk about general public, that would make it even worse. But yeah, that's what we've been talking about in our committee is how do you tell people?
Yes. Well,
And I think that some of the things that you suggested are a great idea. You've got to start somewhere, and we've got to get government out of the dark ages, out of the darkness. And that will help out. In fact, that'll make a big difference because people think that you hide things from them.
Right.
They really do. been doing this and watching people hiding for a long time.
You mentioned something about website links. I think that it is important. I think we should probably have a QR code that people can just scan that take them into different places. That would be
Well, those
helpful
would be
on them
wonderful.
like accessing it. So good point.
Since I finally learned how to use one, so I think it'd be good.
Anyone online have anything?
Okay. Child welfare and regional trends. I think Ally is their chair. Did she give you a report?
She did not, so I can update you all in writing afterwards, just so everybody's,
Okay.
I'll get with her to.
Okay, no problem, Jess.
Those are some of the things that we have talked about, that your committee has talked about. I don't think any of us are very far apart in what we're trying to accomplish. So
Sure.
we'll talk about that some more a little bit. I think we're meshing a lot better than I had anticipated would happen. This whole process has come a long way. And it isn't because anybody's been afraid to do it. Anybody just didn't know they ought to. And now we know we ought to.
That's great. Judge Costley, you are on the child welfare committee. Have you guys met and do you remember?
We have had several.
Okay,
I never know what to call meetings that we'll do over the phone, or we do by Zoom, or we do through a medium somewhere in a dark room. But we do meet.
okay, great.
We do meet, and I'm encouraged by what we're doing, and I'm encouraged by what all the committees are doing. It isn't necessarily helpful to say that you've accomplished everything and go home, because that doesn't work that way. I think we're all gonna be, this is just a good way to start things. Maybe 3 years from now, it'll work even better. Hello, come join us, James,
Janice.
wherever you would like to be.
Thank you.
Hi, Denise, welcome. Glad you could be here. Okay, do you guys have any updates for OFI, or you guys?
OFI has not been able to meet since our
Okay.
last meeting. Our last meeting, our overarching goal was learning more. I think the committee that was where we were all at. We knew pieces of OFI from our parts of the world and interested in having a better understanding of OFI as a whole. So that has been our conversation with Laura.
Great. Okay, the other thing I was gonna mention is that I received regional reports from several regions, and I will send those out, or Emma will send those out after our meeting is complete. From scanning those, it seems like staff retention is still a big thing for everyone, that every region is struggling with, and I think that across the board, we feel that statewide, and we're hoping and praying for more people to want to serve families in our state. So that was the only noted thing of interest that I saw that was worth bringing up. Anyone have any closing remarks before we move into our committees and adjourn the meeting for today? Anyone online? All right, thank you so much for being here, and we will adjourn today's meeting and move to our committees. I think if you're online, please hang tight, and our amazing tech team will get you where you need to go. Our next meeting will be November 18th, and we will move towards that meeting being all virtual. So if you could plan that for the next time we meet, November 18th. And that will be our last meeting of the year. And also, please don't forget, if you want to make a nomination, please submit those by September 30th to Emma. Thanks for being here today.